We're live. Sports Talk Chicago here with Jon Zaghloul. Great to have you all here with us. Big announcement tonight. Also some Bears talk, of course. But big announcement as we come to you live right around 8 p.m. Central Time. This is a new Sports Talk Chicago right here at the former VPON TV headquarters. John Meadows is directing and producing. And we have a new studio. Beautiful. Right here. 3-camera setup. All these different things that are inside this studio. And actually, I want to start with a big thank you. Thanks to all of you for making this possible. The big reason why we're able to expand, why we're able to get better and make more content for you here in 2023 is because of you, because of your viewership, because of the great year that we had in 2022, and because of your donations and your help, especially when we do the live streams. John, I could give you a story here real quick. John really urged me to do some live streams with you, especially during the Bears football season, doing them on Sundays like we've been doing. And as we continue to talk and discuss and plan for 2023, we thought, well, what else could we do to enhance our experience with you, give you more content, more quality stuff, and give you enough as the loyal Chicago sports fans that you are. So we decided 3 times per week we're going to be going live right here at Sports Talk Chicago in our new studios. We're going to be talking everything: Bears, Cubs, Bulls, White Sox, Blackhawks, National, NFL, NBA, and MLB news. We're going to have segments for each show. Each show is going to be an hour long. And we're also going to put this out on podcast form so you can listen to every single segment individually as well as the entire show. We're also going to post every segment individually as well to our YouTube channel, so be prepared. If you have enjoyed Sports Talk Chicago, if you've enjoyed our content for however many years you've been with us, I will say it's about to get just bigger and better. About to put out much more in this beautiful space, and I could not be more appreciative of all of you for making this happen. All of you supporting from the very beginning. A lot of you have been here since I was 13 years old doing this. It's been 9 years of hard work, and I feel like we're just getting started. And it's great to have John Meadows here directing and producing. It's great to have him being a lot of the creativity, the creative eyes behind this whole thing, helping to get this studio set up. I mean, we got internet in here, right? We've got everything ready. We have equipment. And now we're here, and we're going to bring you Chicago sports news at its best live. We're going to be doing other segment ideas moving forward, other creative content ideas, and the lights just turned off. That's okay. Got to get rid of those motion sensors. Hey, it's a test live stream, so that's okay, guys. It's a test live stream, so it's okay if those lights turn off. We're having a good time here. We're trying to make sure, working out all the things that could possibly go wrong, so that way next time we do this, nothing will go wrong. So don't worry. We're here, we're live, and we're with you. So just to give you an idea of the schedule moving forward, the goal right now is Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday live streams. Tuesday and Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m. Sunday after the Bears game. We're going to do kind of an NFL whip-around wrap-up show after the Bears game, probably about 30 minutes to 45 minutes, since you guys have been hanging out with me at that point for about 3.5 to 4 hours already. Then once the Bears season ends, once the NFL playoffs end, we will do an hour-long live stream on Sunday, similar to the Tuesday and Thursday shows. We want your interaction. We want your comments. We want your support. If you have anything you want us to talk about, if you have ideas about how the show should look moving forward, you got to tell me so we can write those down and get in our production meetings, me and John, and plan them out. But we have some ideas ourselves, and, of course, we're going to be talking about all your favorite Chicago sports teams. So I appreciate all of you being here. I appreciate all of you for your support. And really, I just can't thank all of you enough. It has been a long journey, and the journey continues. But this is a stepping stone that I never thought was possible, for sure. This is so exciting and interesting and new and fresh. And, again, it's only going to get better as the majority of 2023 moves forward and gets underway. We're going to have a good time with you. So, let's talk about the Bears. Let's talk about this game this past weekend. Bears falling once more to the Buffalo Bills. 35-13 final score. Josh Allen carving up the Bears in the second half. Not a surprise. The Bears played pretty much how we all expected them to play. They lead in the first half. Going to the halftime winning 10-6. I mean, I was pretty shocked about that. Justin Fields looked okay. Josh Allen was turning the ball over easily. I mean, the Bears got 2 more interceptions off of him. They got a couple off of Jalen Hurts as well, which we'll talk about that in a second. I think that's pretty telling. But yet, at the end of the day, the old tank job wins again. and the Bears end up falling to Buffalo. I mean, I'm not really surprised about this. The Bears dropped to 3-12. The silver lining about this loss is that the Texans won. So right now the Bears are a half game out of becoming the number one pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, which I think is unbelievable. As far as Justin Fields goes, 15 of 23, 119 yards, 1 touchdown. David Montgomery, decent game on the ground, 16 rushes, 62 yards. And how about this? Maybe I have to eat some crow this week. Velus Jones Jr. with 52 receiving yards. Somehow he held onto the football and actually made 2 catches. I have to say, I'm pretty stunned. That said, Bears are going to be, with 2 more games left, they got to face off against the Lions and the Vikings. I have to say, I don't expect to win in either of those 2 games, and this team is going to be 3 and maybe 14 by season's end. I may have to issue an apology on this program. Before the season, many of you followed me, and I talked about how the Bears would not be the worst team in football. I bashed ESPN analysts for saying such things. I told them they were wrong. I told them they had no business covering the sport. But as I sit here today, I have to say, this may be the worst team in the NFL when it's all said and done, depending on what happens with Houston. Think about that. This Chicago Bears team with a new coach, a new GM, and no talent, are going to be the worst team in football. I'm not saying that they should be fired. I'm just saying it's a little bit odd and it doesn't sit right with me. Now, the tank is going to be on, and that's fine. Everybody worried about tanking. Everybody worried about these top picks, and rightfully so. But I have to say, not too thrilled about the consistent losing, the annoying losing that we see week in and week out. You guys are all with us. You watch it with us. It's losing every week. At some point, things need to get better. Talking with somebody today about this, they asked me, what do the Bears need to do in the draft? Talk to me. They said, what do you think they should do? I said, well, they need edge rushers, they need offensive linemen, and they need wide receivers. And he said, that's a lot of holes. I'm like, well, the Bears have a lot of holes to fill. They have a lot of issues that need to be worked out for next year. Of course, the Bears do have $120+ million in cap space, unlike Denver, where if they cut Russell Wilson, it's $120 million in dead cap, in dead money. The Bears are in a better spot than teams like Denver, other teams that are really near the bottom, which is great. The question is now, will the Bears do it the right way? Will the Bears spend their money correctly? Will Ryan Poles make sure that he allocates resources correctly? Will Justin Fields continue to grow? Will the Bears keep David Montgomery? Will Velus Jones Jr. be on this team next year? Will other guys who Ryan Poles stuck his neck out for still be here? Will Ryan Poles draft correctly? Because he's whipped on a couple of guys this year. We know that. We all do. Big questions that are going to need big answers and big solutions coming up this offseason. I think that's the exciting part. Now, I've learned this already over the past now 2 years, really covering Bears football in depth. It always seems like the offseason is more exciting than the season itself. Rumors flying everywhere. The Bears are going to get Carson Wentz to make it Russell Wilson. The Bears are going to draft Justin Fields. They're going to be so excited to make a move. Usually they never do, but the rumor mill will start to churn. And I think it's going to be very exciting to be a Bears fan this year, knowing there is a lot of money to spend and knowing they have a pretty damn high draft pick. I mean, the Bears could trade back, get 2 more picks. They could pull a Mitch Trubisky on somebody else when it comes to draft positioning and making trades. And they'll be in great shape for next year. When you ask me about expectations, I will say this too. The Bears should be a playoff team next year. No doubt about it. This Bears team is going to have so much money to spend. They're going to be in a high draft position. There is no reason why next year we should cut them slack and say, well, no. Bears should be in the playoffs next year, and the year after that, they should be contending at that point for an NFC North title, a deep playoff run. Now, I saw some people saying, well, the Bears should be expected to go 13-3 next year. They did it with Mitch Trubisky. They went 12-4. I think it's a little bit of a different situation, but I do agree that this team has to be competitive next year. I think that's going to be the biggest key for them moving forward. Take a look at some of your comments here. Hanging out with us. Appreciate all of you tuning in. The Bears ever had the number 1 pick? I mean, they've had number 2, right? They had the number 2 to move up to get Mitch. when you bet that we still had Roquan and Quinn, I think we made the right move. Yeah, so I want to address this too. So somebody commented about Roquan Smith and his abilities to help a team win. I guess the Ravens have been 5-2 since they acquired Roquan Smith. I don't fully buy into that notion. I think Roquan here in Chicago had some issues off the field that we've talked about extensively on this program for years past. Now, I don't think it's right to say, well, Roquan goes to the Ravens and now they're winning. You have to look at the other factors that go into their game plan and their game play that allow them to win football games. Had the Bears kept Roquan Smith, there would have been another contract holdout. There would have been feelings hurt. And at the end of the day, the Bears would have paid him $20 million to do absolutely nothing. I mean, to make tackles. Not a good move by the Bears to keep him. And I think it was good by the Bears to get rid of him. And Robert Quinn, who, by the way, is on the IR now. Robert Quinn barely playing. A guy who the Bears probably should have gotten rid of last year had they had the opportunity. But they didn't. Now this year he gets the axe. Should the Bears get Josh Jacobs? I would love Josh Jacobs. Best running back in the NFL. Huge fan of Josh Jacobs. Physical runner. 300 to 400 carries per season, which you got to love, especially in this era of the NFL where every team has 2 running backs or 3. But will the Bears pay him? And that's another question we could get into about David Montgomery, right? The Bears, right now, David Montgomery is going to be a free agent. Will they pay him X amount of dollars? Right now, they're saying maybe around $10 million, $12 million. Look, if you're going to pay that much money, pay for the best. And David Montgomery's not a bad running back. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying this. Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, Miles Sanders, to an extent. All superior running backs to David Montgomery. Guys you could get if you're willing to pay the price. I suggest the Bears do. They need a running back. They need a run game. They could always cut or, keep Khalil Herbert, right? Keep Herbert to be their number 1 guy, but Herbert's not as good of a pass catcher. And that could hurt them when they need somebody, for Justin Fields to be a safety blanket. Going to be harder. Ricardo, would you trade down from 2 overall with the Falcons for 7 and Kyle Pitts? Hell yeah. Who wouldn't? Kyle Pitts, great tight end, number 7. I'd be fine with that. The Bears are not going to draft a quarterback, too. Somebody asked me about Bryce Young. I like Bryce Young. I'm high on Bryce Young. I'm high on all these quarterbacks coming out. You never know which one of these guys are going to hit it big in the NFL. But that being said, we know that Justin Fields is the guy at this point, and he's proven his worth. He's proven enough to say, I should start next year. He's proven enough to say he could be a franchise QB. He's a record holder. So as much as I'd like to see, and as much as it'd be exciting to see a pick up Bryce Young or pick up somebody specific, don't think it's going to happen. I wouldn't count on it, guys. I really wouldn't count on it. Would you say that polls will address the trenches on both sides of the football in the first few rounds? I would say so, Aaron, 100%. I think that's going to be the goal. I feel like wide receiving-wise, the Bears are going to probably go in the late rounds. I mean, they waited till round 3 to get Bayless Jones Jr., which is what it is. Feel like it's going to be rounds 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 where they start to look at wide receivers. But I would say rounds 1 and 2 specifically, all trenches, O-line, D-line. 100%. Yeah, if we get the number 1 pick, ask for a king's ransom. Yeah, they should. Bears could get back 2 first-round picks maybe for the number 1 pick. I would do it. Or the Bears could pull a crazy move and draft a quarterback. They're not going to do it. But they can do whatever they want with that pick, and I think that's the exciting and the thrilling part of it. And when you look back at Chicago sports history, when's the last time any team here has gotten the number 1 overall pick besides the Bulls in 2010 getting Derrick Rose? Anybody remember that? Remember the debate between Derrick Rose and Michael Beasley, who was going to be the guy. I actually wanted Beasley. I was 10, though, so you can't blame me for that wrong opinion. Michael Beasley, not a bad player. But, yeah, I mean, with this situation, the Bears could have the number 1 pick. They have to be smart. They have to demand a king's ransom, and they got to make sure that when they make a deal, they find a way to get back a lot in return, especially in that first and second round. I would say 100%. Does David Montgomery come back next year? No. I'm going to say no. Pretty hot take, but I just don't see the Bears paying him. And I'll tell you what. If you're already going to shell out $10 million to David Montgomery per year, shell out 12 or 13 to somebody like Saquon. Why not? Saquon's on a whole other tier for $3 million more. And I know, don't pay running backs, I get it. But what are you going to do? Unless you keep Khalil Herbert, which I'm okay with that path too. You keep Herbert, have him be the number one. You have Ebner and Evans behind him. Don't have to worry. Fine with that as well. But if the Bears are going to be paying for a running back, if they have money allocated for running backs, Ryan Poles in his salary cap space, you better make sure that you pay for the best, not second tier or not, let's keep Montgomery. Unless you get a big discount on him, then you keep him. What can Ryan Poles do to redeem himself for drafting Velus Jones over Christian Watson? Wow, very good question, Aaron. He has to draft a real wide receiver this year and have him pan out. I'm pretty disappointed in Velus Jones, in case you haven't known already. You know, every time he fumbles the football, you see me on Twitter, I say, hey, he's making another big impact on the game because he's blown 2 games. Velus has blown 2 games. It's proven. We've seen it. Commanders game for sure. The Bears were up 7-6. All he had to do was take the punt, and the Bears would have won that game 7-6. That stuff gets me pissed. Bears have to find a way to draft another wide receiver who's going to be better than Watson or just better than Velus Jones. Find somebody who could hold on to the football. And at that point, you're golden. And you're finding Ryan Pace will redeem himself. Watson did go before the Bears pick, just like George Pickens did too. The Bears could have traded up, but why are they going to trade up for a wide receiver? But Watson didn't go too far after Velus. The Bears could have gotten him in the second round. They opted instead for Brisker and Gordon in that round. Could have gotten Watson on the board. I'm not saying Brisker and Gordon are bad, but Watson was there. The Bears needed a wide receiver. They chose Velus Jones, who had who had returned 18 punts back in college. He's muffed 3 of them already this year. Junior, I'm just curious to know who's going to replace Phillips in February. That's right. Yes, Ted Phillips is going to be retiring. Sound the alarm. Congratulations to him on his retirement. I don't know who's going to replace him. You know, they could promote Ryan Poles. They could merge Poles' position, or maybe, hey, that's why they hired Ian Cunningham, right? Cunningham goes up from AGM to real GM. Poles goes up from GM to president of football operations. Could happen. I could totally see that. Take a kicker in the first round, LOL, JK. Well, hey, unless there's a Sebastian Janikowski type guy out there, I don't think the Bears are going to be doing that. Appreciate all of you tuning in. By the way, 40 of you here with us. We are live from our brand new studio. So if you're just tuning in, these are new. These are ours. This is Sports Talk Chicago's new studio with John Meadows directing and producing. Sponsored by our good friends at Amish Country Farms, by the way. If you have any needs when it comes to your food moving forward, if you're looking for some fresh food in 2023, been doing your research, you want some better food for your life, head over to Amish Country Farms in Orland Park today. Fresh food from the Amish weekly. Tell them Sports Talk Chicago sent you. They're going to take real good care of you. Aaron loved the new studio. Thank you. And yeah, I mean, it's beautiful, right? We got a 3-camera setup. We got setups ready for guests. We're trying to get some guests in studio to provide a better experience to you. And just to let you know as well, as we kind of mentioned earlier, we plan on doing an hour live stream Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays. We're going to cut up each show into 4 12-minute segments. And then we're going to also redistribute those to all of you on YouTube. And then anybody who's listening on the podcast part, we're going to get that up in audio form as well. So there are going to be lots of ways to listen and lots of content coming to you here in 2023. And there could be more news to come even further down the road, potentially. So we get into 2023, earlier to mid parts of the year. There could even be more news about this show and about where it's going to be going. So a lot of exciting things about this program. I just want to say again, thank you to all of you for not, giving up and being here with me, always supporting, always watching. It's a big reason why we're able to expand. Big reason why we're able to keep this thing going. Support has never really dwindled. It's always been steady, and it's going to continue to rise, I would assume, as we put out more content, and it's because of you that we're here. So, pat on the back to you guys, really, for keeping this thing alive and keeping it going, and we're having a great time here in this studio. I mean, it's just beautiful. You walk in, it's so nice, spacious, lots of room, good sound quality. It's very, very beautiful, and it's great to see all of you here. Call me crazy, but I think Aaron Rodgers is leaving. Oh, Ricardo, you retracted the message. I was just going to read it. Oh, okay. Aaron, thank you, man. I'm here for it all. Very excited on another level. Macy V Fishing, Calvin, and Be Wicked. Yep. Would you swap first overall with Cincinnati for T. Higgins and a first-rounder next year? I don't have a problem with that trade either. The Bears are so needy at wide receiver that anybody they could get their hands on, I would look into. I would be open to that conversation. Same with O-line, same with D-line. If the Bears want to trade back, they have a good D-lineman they want at number 7, and they trade their number 1 pick to another team as a quarterback-needy team, do it. The Bears have to listen to all options when it comes to those 3 key positions. O-line, D-line / edge rush, wide receiver. They need help there. And when your number 1 wide receiver was EQ St. Brown before he got hurt, we got a problem. What are you doing? Horrible. And EQ St. Brown might not even be on this team next year either. And that's your number 1 at this point. That goes to show you we got a serious problem for this team. Trying to monitor all of your comments as well. By the way, we are live on Twitch. And we are live on Facebook again. Got one of you here on Twitch. Want to make sure I didn't miss anybody on Facebook too. A couple of views and comments over there. And we are welcoming your comments as well on YouTube. Hopefully we draft a Carter or Fuller in the first round. Yeah, it's great to see all of you here. By the way, thank you for hitting that like button and supporting here today. I'll be going for a few more minutes. Great to have you all here with us. So, very nice studio. And, yeah, we're going to be making sure that we roll out some new content for you, too, moving forward. Different ideas, different creative thoughts that John and I have discussed, and we're going to continue to discuss in meetings, production meetings. I mean, it's really cool to have this huge experience with all of you here. And I'm very, very grateful to have you all here with me. When do you see the Bears moving to Arlington Heights? ASAP. That's my response to that question. I think it should happen very soon. Hey, you know what would be really cool? Think about this. Imagine this. It's the year's 2028. You're not freezing your ass off in -1 degree weather at a Bears game. You're in a nice, beautiful dome, not commuting to the city, not having to worry about turf hurting a player or natural grass hurting a player because it's not being kept the right way, like the Chicago Park District doesn't do it. Imagine showing up to a nice, beautiful stadium right in Arlington Heights. People, a nice environment, brand new. I'd rather see that, and I think it's going to happen sooner than you think. Any chance you suit up for the Bears at wide receiver like you did when you came in as a relief pitcher? I'd probably get my ass handed to me, Landon. It'd be nice. I don't think it would work out too well. I mean, I got a football here. Got a helmet at home. I guess I could suit up and say, hey, I'm on the team, but don't think that's going to work out real well. Proud of you, John. I'm so glad to be here to follow every step of yours. Macy B Fishing, that's Iceman. So Iceman, guys, just so you know, he's in Thailand, supporting the channel. Been here for a while. I remember, I think we connected Iceman when we did a Mike North interview about maybe 3 years ago. I had Mike North on, and you followed and commented, and you've been here ever since. So I appreciate you, man, for being here. Will the McCaskies sell the team before or after the stadium is built? I think that's a very good question, too. Will they sell the team? Right? Will George become the owner? Plausible question. I think they're going to hold on to this team. I think they're going to keep them. I still think the stadium gets built, though. I still think it's going to happen. But I don't see the McCaskies selling at this point. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Not going to be mad, but I don't see it right now. Aaron, I'm here for the support. Thank you. Thanks for being here, Aaron. Yeah, you'd hope the McCaskies get sold or sell this team, but I don't know. Joseph Walker, great to see you, brother. Thank you for being here as well. Yep, new studio, new times, new content. So much to talk about, so much going on here at Sports Talk Chicago. Glad to have all you here for the ride with us. I'm not going to say let's ride. I'm not Russell Wilson, but it's great to have you here for the ride with us. It's going to be a great time. So exciting. Grateful for all of you to be here. Hope the McCaskies sell. Well, AB, we'll see what happens, right? I want to talk about some Cubs and White Sox, too, for a second before we head off. I don't know if many of you have been following. The White Sox signed Andrew Benintendi to a deal. The Cubs signed Dansby Swanson. And here's kind of a hot take. Brace yourselves. If I put this on Twitter, I'm going to get killed, but I have to say it. I don't like the Dansby Swanson move. Talking about this today with a friend. You know, Dansby Swanson's career best was last year. What was last year? 277 average, 24 home runs. What is impressive about that? Dansby Swanson in the past, a 240, 250 hitter, right? Nothing spectacular, nothing significant. Really, according to some, just a year ago, a bust. I watched him play at Vanderbilt. Great player. Watched him in person. College World Series. Great player. Yet for some reason, a lot of his hitting has not translated to MLB standards. The Cubs paid him a lot of money. $177 million. Don't like that move. Not proven. Not enough. Did good for 1 year. Just saying, Cubs fans. I'm not even a White Sox fan. Hey, I'm right down the middle. But I do not think Dansby Swanson at $177 million is smart money. Cubs fans are happy because the Cubs are spending money again and they're going to be good again. I'll tell you what, Dansby Swanson is not getting you anywhere. Maybe he'll get you to 500 record, but it's not like you bring in Aaron Judge and all of a sudden things are better. It's Dansby Swanson. Just saying, don't feed into the Cub Kool-Aid and think for yourself about this team. They're getting better, but are they there yet? No. Swanson is a Scott Boras guy. I didn't go to Vandy, but I was in Nebraska for the College World Series when Dansby was playing there. I want to talk about the White Sox, though. Somebody that no one's talking about, somebody who we should be watching this year, Andrew Benintendi. A lot of Sox fans weren't happy or weren't enthusiastic. Maybe they're not as enthusiastic about him as I am, but I'll tell you what, Andrew Benintendi last year hit .304, had a 3 WAR, had a .373 on-base percentage. He is just a good hitter. You know, he's a hitter. He's a contact guy who also has had power in the past, not last year. I'll take anybody hitting 300 all season long. Major upgrade for the White Sox, especially in the outfield compared to what they had last year. Somebody who can hit for average all the time. Just saying. Not overly expensive, like Dansby. Can hit, proven. Can play defense even, too. We've seen it. I would just caution yourselves when we talk about, okay, you know, Dansby and Benintendi and who's doing better and who's on the right path. I'll tell you what, White Sox are on a much better path than the Cubs right now. Still, I like Pedro Grifol. I like the hire for the White Sox. Great guy. Cubs have more work to do. Cubs have more money to get off the books. Cubs have more of a job to do in regards to get rid of that 2016 team and moving forward. They lost Wilson Contreras for no... So they spend all this money on Dansby Swanson, yet they let Wilson Contreras walk for less than $100 million. Oh, by the way, all of you wanted Wilson to stay during the trade deadline. Now the Cubs got nothing back for him. Just saying, this Cubs team is awkward. They make some good moves. They've spent some money, which is nice. It's significant, but it's just a weird team. I have no idea what to expect out of them this year. I'm expecting 500 baseball, which is an improvement for them. But why give up Wilson so easily and sign somebody who hit 277 once in his career? Just saying. All of you still here with us. You're going to miss Wilson's bat. Me too. I'm going to miss Wilson's bat. Hell yeah. Wilson was a monster at the plate. I still thought they should have traded him. Probably could have gotten a lot back for him. My White Sox go in the right direction. Yes, they are. They really are. Pedro Grifol, been around for a while out in KC. That's why Benintendi partially came to the White Sox, because he knew about Grifol. I think it's a great hire. I think Benintendi's a great signing. They're going to look good next year. Clevenger, too, on a discount deal. It's nice. They're going to be in a good position. Well, the Cubs signed Carlos Correa for a smaller contract. Yeah, so big thing going around in Major League Baseball. Carlos Correa signed, reportedly, with the Giants. Then he failed his physical. Signed, reportedly, with the Mets. Failed his physical there, too. So the question is, who wants Carlos Correa? Cubs were tied to him for a long time. I would say if anybody wants to offer him a lesser contract, like a 4-year deal, he wants a 13 or 12-year deal. You offer him a 4-year deal at $30 million a year, I would bite. But there's obviously something wrong when two teams already say he can't pass his physical. The Cubs were heavily tied to him. It didn't work out there either. Jed Hoyer doing some research. Kudos to him for making sure the Cubs didn't waste money on Correa. Very interesting. Yeah, Jose Abreu now not on the White Sox. He signed a 3-year deal out in Houston. Very nice and good for him. Gets a chance to actually win for once, win a championship, and not sit in the dog days of summer waiting for next year here in Chicago. I think Jose Abreu is a quality White Sox, great player, and I'll tell you what, if he continues at this pace for about maybe 5 or 6 more years, could even be in the Hall of Fame ballot and could be in the Hall of Fame conversation. Debuted late, not his fault, but has put up great stats from his beginning to where he is today. If he continues that for 5 more years, but that would age him into his 41, 42 season, if he does it, which is possible, he could be in the Hall of Fame discussion. What do you guys think about your Hall of Fame ballot? What do you think about this Hall of Fame ballot? I had Billy Wagner on recently. I'm sure all of you saw that interview. Got picked up in the New York Post. We talked about his career. Billy Wagner right now actually has gained the most votes amongst any candidate, according to Ryan Thibodeau on Twitter at Not Mr. Tibbs. My guy, Ryan, good guy. Talk with him all the time on Twitter. And he told me that right now Billy Wagner has gained the most out of anybody else as far as new ballots go. He's gained, I think, 14 votes at my last check. So 14 guys who didn't vote for him last year voted for him this year. That's pretty exciting. I think that's great. Billy, nice guy. You've seen him on the program multiple times. I think he deserves to be in Cooperstown. Who else do you think should be there? Another big question. Right, Jose will be in the MLB Hall of Fame. He very well could be if he continues at this pace. Very good locker room guy. Eloy Jimenez, Eloy, oh boy. Not doing too good. Hey, nice bat, but no defense, and that's his biggest problem. He's going to be a DH for the rest of his career if the White Sox want to use him correctly with Eloy Jimenez. So we're kind of getting near that 30-minute mark, and we're probably going to be wrapping up here very soon. But, hey, this is very exciting. I want to tell you all that if you're looking for more, stay tuned. We're going to have a great time here talking all of your favorite Chicago sports and national ones, too. Talk about some national NFL stories like how Nathaniel Hackett got fired. See that? Talk about all that this week, next week, and moving forward, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. Live stream 7, 8 p.m. on the weekdays and on the weekends after the Bears game for an NFL whip-around show. Big thank you to John Meadows directing and producing, and a big thank you to all of you. Remember, it's because of you we are here. New studio, big announcement. 2023 is going to be huge. Glad to have you all along with us for the ride. Can't thank you all enough. And until next time, we will see you soon. So long from Chicago.